These things, they grab attention, right. And if you're buying it as marketing purposes, like everything I get, man, I don't need certain things, but it just really helps with the marketing, So I'm like, I even created another page because I was like, screw that. I could be, it's like my alter ego on this other page. Like I can just be whoever I want. I don't have anybody in my family there. Nobody follows me there. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to be this ratchet ass fool right here on Instagram. Screw that.
So your family page is Jorge, and then your second page is George?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Elite Sales Podcast. I'm joined in studio today by my guest, Jay Leon. Okay. And then we got Clifton Henry with FFL Generational. And then we got Joanne and Yoel helping to produce the show today. So thank you guys for getting on. Just wanted to go over a couple of new agents that wrote business for the first time. Actually, let me double check here. But we have Patricia Balatayo and Angelica Underwood working with Casey. Great job to you ladies. We have Nestle Aguilar, she was here a year ago or so, but then she kind of took some time off, took a little hiatus, and it's almost like she's brand new again. So she went on, she's helped a lot of families this week working with Jean-Pierre Badon.
JP. Yeah, I remember her. And
we also have Jonathan Reynoso, working with Romeo. So great job to all of you guys. Always a very exciting part whenever a new agent comes in and writes business for the first time. Means they get paid for the first time, and means that this is the start of their career. You submitted business already, but so
he never got recognized. He wants recognition.
Why don't you slide on over and hop into the mic real quick? But my head of media productions, Yoel, I know.
Wow, I wasn't expecting this. Thank you for showcasing me.
It's like an award show. Your award's in the back. We'll go get it for you.
Okay, cool. What is it?
So, your first sale, the satisfaction.
Okay. I thought it was like something real. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Tell us real quick, like how did it feel making your first sale?
It was good. I mean, it was a week before. It was a while ago. No one recognizes me, and I love attention. So I just wanted to make sure that someone recognized me. But no, it was good. This business is. I just had a really great dial day yesterday. And no, it was good. I'm excited to really get momentum going and really get going. And I started live transfers too, so I'm excited. Very excited.
Before we let you get back, you want to this is Jay Leon, and actually it's funny because when we first started doing our podcast, we first got our equipment. Like we got some cameras, some starting level cameras. We got some at the time. It's like compared to what we got now, relatively cheap bikes, and everything was like just us getting started. And then now, he's back, right? So
back.
It's funny because how long ago was that?
A year
ago?
Yeah. So I came back. I came initially in it was February of March 2020.
When you started, or when that was
2020,
when you were on the
2022.
podcast?
It's going on 2 years, right?
It's a year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the first time around. So it's
So
right when COVID had just started.
yeah, do you remember that, Yoel? We've come a long way, huh?
Yeah.
Looks different to you now, right?
Man, it's like a whole studio in here, bro. Film a movie.
So I mean, let's get back into that, because you're here with us about a year and a half ago. Started with us. We came from the same company from before, along with Cliff.
Right.
We all came from the same company. We knew about the business, not this business.
Right.
And then you came in for a little bit. You stuck around for how long?
I think it was a little bit under a year.
Under a year?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he decided to move on, go do some other stuff. So why don't you tell us why didn't it work out the first time? What made you make a decision to go?
So the first time I came, the first time around, I was still skeptical, bro. And I think that's what messed me up a lot. I was overthinking everything, very analytical about everything. Numbers didn't make sense. It was like, how the hell are people writing? I thought it was a scam, you know? And so that mental block didn't allow me to really see the good in the business. So I got caught up in all the, you know, because it was hard. It was like, dude, I come from a place where, you know, if you're producing a month, it's hella good. You know what I mean? So to start hearing people producing a week, it was like, what? Like,
so the standards were very different coming from where we came from.
Yeah, 100%. So that I think that was the biggest thing, man. Like thinking it too much, think about it too much, like, and focusing on trying to prove it wrong rather than like, I'll be honest, you know, it was like, rather than really just plugging in and just going with it, letting myself go and you know, really dive into the business. Right. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Right. You know, I really wanted to come in here and, you know, I was going to bring the same mindset I had. And it was a very limiting mindset, man. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say that because, you know, I think Cliff and I, we talked about it a little bit. Like, you know, you came in trying to basically recreate the same system that you had before. And then you even came in, and obviously our lead platform has developed a lot since back then when you were here. So we have so many more lead options now. I mean, they can produce way more leads. We have a ton of different varieties. So that when someone says like, oh, I don't want to work these leads, it's like, cool. There's like tons of leads out there. So you can choose. Like you have to figure out what your preference is, and the only way for you to do it, got to go out there and just work them all.
Right.
But you know, you were trying to create your own leads.
I did.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I got them down to I got the leads down to like 8. What was it? Uh-huh. And literally a week later, FFL announces their leads are. So I'm like, screw this. Like this is, you know, it worked out with there were good leads. Again, I invested a lot of my energy, time in trying to create what was already there. Yeah. You know, I was just blinded, man. I was like, trying to create these leads and, you know, bringing some of the old style. That's what I knew. I was with that company for 6 years. So a lot of that style, it was just embedded into me. So it was natural to come in here and, you know, be a hard head. Right. You know, I that's what messed me up 100%. But, I mean, this time around, I'm just like, dude, it's just whatever they say, I'm a dude, man. Like, I want to walk on fire, let's roll. I mean, I don't know why, but let's do it. Like, screw it.
Well, I mean, it was never like a bad working relationship between us. I mean, like, you know, you just kept trying to go with things about your own way.
Right.
Which I don't know, for me, especially, I had less experience myself at that time. So, you know, I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's going to work. Who knows? You know, so, I mean, I'm not going to tell another grown man how to live his life or run his business. Right. So I was like, you know, I kept trying to tell you to stick with the simpler way, the way that it was working.
I'm a hard head, man.
But you know, I was also a little bit curious. I'm like, if you're willing to invest your money, which you always are, you're willing to put in the work, which you always are. I'm like, let's see where it goes. I mean, this time around, if you came in saying the same things, I'd be like, no, let's not waste time. Let's just stick with what works. Yeah. You know, let's just keep it simple.
You know, I do think about it sometimes, man, and I'm like, could it work? I just quit too soon though, man. I quit way too soon. Like it was like, it got hard. It was not what I was used to. And it's your own business. Like it's supposed to be harder rather than someone laying everything out there for you and telling you, here's 50 leads, go ahead and call these leads. Here's this city, here's that city. Like this is really your own business. That's what I really didn't capture at the beginning. It was like, we all say we want to be our own boss. We want to be our own business owners. But when it came down to it, it was like, whoa, like, I don't know if I'm really made for this stuff. Right. And so, but again, I think I just quit way too soon. I should have stuck around and kind of let it just play itself out, because now looking back and seeing what has happened with the business, I'm like, dude, like I would have been in a pretty good position, Yeah. But whatever, you live and you learn, man. You take those lessons. I'm not going to sit there and cry about stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, now I just feel a lot more confident, more powerful, man, because I came back now knowing what I was getting myself into 100%. Like I made this choice. Therefore, it's like, let's go, let's do it.
Well, let's talk about that. So when you stuck here for a little bit under a year, you decided this wasn't for you at that moment.
Sure.
You took a break. So what'd you end up going doing?
The truth.
Yeah, of course. Always keep it 100.
No. I'm a very transparent person. I have no shame. I don't really give a damn. I went back to the company that I had came from.
Yep.
And I was there. Sorry, I can't hear myself speak. So I went. You want me to just wait for that?
Yeah, just click on it and then hit mute all.
Cool. Yeah. So I did some stuff that I'm actually still doing, which is I got into real estate. Did a little bit, got my license in mortgage lending, opened up an office, actually a real estate office. I'm now considered a broker in real estate, and I have my own team with a partner of mine, which we do business together. He runs pretty much all the day-to-day stuff. I don't know much about real estate, to be honest, but I know how to build offices. I know how to build teams. So that's my job there. He does more of the real estate day-to-day stuff. But yeah, I did go back to the other company. I was there, the whole freaking time, man. I'm just like, yeah, really? Like, this is what I made? Like, I busted my ass off. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? After writing like 5, can I talk about money?
No.
Okay, cool. I won't.
We'll get that in post.
Yeah, cut. Yeah, but I was protecting a significant amount of families. I mean, I know how to work the business. I know how to sell the product. I mean, this is all I know. So,
but it was a decrease in the amount from what you're
expecting. Yeah. So the whole time now I'm over there and I'm like, dude, I would have done the same thing. And I'm over here with my calculator. I'm like, I would have made this much. I'm like, this is not making any more sense. Like, and you realize at that point, I realized I had already outgrown that. And now it's like, my mind is no longer going to accept this. No matter how much work I put into it, no matter what, like it's just not going to work. One, I already know there's better product out there. So if it boils down to my clients, like I'm not doing the best thing for my clients. Like that was already like from the jump. I was like, this is not the best product. Like I would sit in front of people and I'm like, that policy doesn't make sense. But, you got to do what you got to do. You got to push what you have. Right. And so I did it, but it wouldn't sit well with me. I'd be going home. I'm like, that's not right. Like, I know better. I wouldn't even buy this anymore. And once that was out there, it was like, well, I'm an ethical person. I think I like to think, and this is no longer within my ethics. Right. So that right away, I was like, I can't do that. And obviously the pay and, I didn't feel like, here's something I read the other day. It's like, you're not on the table, you're on the menu. And I was like, dude, we're on the menu here. Like they're about to come in. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm literally building these fools up and they're going to leave because they should. Like, you should not stay here that long. This is a practice company. Like straight up. I know, man, whoever hears this, it is what it is.
So, I mean, it was part of the reason why you went back. Was it was comfortable?
It was very comfortable for me. I was there 6 years, man. I knew the product. I knew it's here we have. At first, it was difficult because it's like, man, I got this company, I got that company, all these options. I gotta learn all these underwritings, and that made it complicated for me. Because I'm so used to like, I go to this application, one app, one rate. Here's the underwriting guide. This is what it is, But again, I was just fighting that growth, man. I was really fighting that growth of like, well, you say you want to be a businessman. You say you want to, put people in a better position. Well, that is the better position. You just got to learn. gotta, go back into the to the drawing board and learn. Like, and now this time around, dude, I printed out all the underwriting. I was like, dude, let me read this. Actually, there's a really good website. I don't know if I can promote that stuff, but I don't make any money off of it.
Sure.
But there's a really good website where you actually plug in the information. You plug in how much coverage, how much, what their age is, what health conditions they have, what medication, toolkits. Yeah, dude, that thing's that's badass. Like that changed my life, man. I was like, dude, no, I don't have to like try to figure out. It is like or something like that, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I mean,
It's a CRM too.
Would you know, I think the reason why it was probably like such a big priority for you to learn these products because of the place where you came from. You had the one carrier. So like you had to make sure all this stuff fit.
Yeah.
But actually with simplified issue, I mean, like it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
If you stick with a couple carriers, like I think a lot of times like people that know more coming into this have to unlearn the stuff that they had. So, when you say like you quit too soon the first time, actually, I think it was a good thing the way things shook out.
Yeah.
Because, we didn't burn any bridges. We didn't leave on bad terms. Like everything was cool. We're still all friends.
Yeah.
But the thing was taking that step away actually allowed you to reflect back on what you had here versus, and you actually went back and got yourself immersed back into what we were doing before.
Yeah. So yeah, man, 100%. Like it was necessary.
Yeah.
Like, although it cost me money, cost me a lot of, some time, whatever, money comes and goes. And, time, it was something that I kind of like felt a little bit more, but overall it was worth the lesson.
Right.
Because now I get to run, man. Like I don't have to be like kind of, just like tiptoeing. Like, is this the right fit for me? Is it going to work? Like, not, dude, it's going to work.
Right.
We're going to make it work. It works. There's people doing it that came from the same company I came from and they're making it work. So it's literally just me. Like, so
No,
everything's working out now. I love it.
I know.
Yeah.
You're doing really well. And I would say it's actually a blessing that you stepped away, because I think had you just stuck it out the whole time, I think you still would have carried some of that, old perspective and some of that resentment. And, you would have wanted things to work out a certain way, and taking that step away entirely actually helped in your situation, because you went back to an ex, and then you realize like, it's not like there's a reason you left in the first place.
Yeah. And that was the same reason that like when I was there, I was like, yeah, dude, like those thoughts and memories came back. I was like, this is why I left. Hello. I gotta get up and get the hell out of here, And listen, man, it did what it needed to do for that time being. I'm not gonna sit here and bash on it and say it was like the worst experience ever. No, man, I really appreciate that opportunity that they also gave me for taking me back in after, coming over here to their competitor, but at the end of the day, man, it's business. You know what I mean? And that's something I've learned. It's like, this is business, dude. Like there's no emotions, and they try to hold this whole loyalty stuff on you, and it's a one-way street. It's like I'm loyal to the company, but the company's not loyal to me. And I have a lot to prove on that, how true that is. And that I learned. So all in all, man, it was worth the experience and the lesson to really get that clarity. And know that this is the right place to be, and the only place people should be.
I know. So why this place? So because you obviously could go anywhere.
Sure.
And then we continued to talk, and you're like, hey, Cliff continued to stay in contact with you. You and I talked, and then you were like, hey, I'm thinking about coming back. but out of all the other options you have out there, why FFL?
I had to be around people that I trust. You know what I mean? Like for me to go out there and build some of these relationships with other people that like tried. I mean, you're right. There's people always hitting you up like, hey, dude, come here, try this. And I'm like, nah, man, I always knew that if ever was to, come back or, leave that company and try to, do this again. I knew this was the company I was going to come with, the team I was going to come with, the mentors I wanted to have on my corner, man, because that's what's important to me. The business. I know the business. You've been around the business for a long time. So everything else I can do. You know what I mean? Like I can put in the work. I don't need nobody to put in the work for me. I'm not scared of work. I actually enjoy that a lot. The product, I can learn. but I just need someone to point me in the right direction when I'm trying to, now that I'm focusing on building a deal. And I knew that, I saw your growth from the moment you came over, and I was like, dude, it's real. You know what I mean? Like this, I can really see, like, I mean, sometimes I laugh about it, bro. I'm like, dude, we're trying to crack some, small numbers now that I think about it.
Right.
But seeing you do it, it was like, I mean, I know you know me, you know my heart.
Right.
I know your heart, you're a good guy. And, that's important to me, because even though like I left, you never held any of that against me. Like, it's funny because some people do, man. It's crazy stuff.
We know this.
It's weird.
Wish death upon you and all that stuff. I'm like,
I was like, man, I thought we were just homies yesterday, man. Right. Just because I chose to go, chase I had this conversation with one of the guys over there. I'm like, bro, like, doesn't mean that I'm not loyal.
Right.
It's just that my vision comes before anybody else's. Like, I'm not going to put, I mean, how weird would that be for me to put my dreams, my goals, my ambitions, and put yours first?
No.
Like, now, if it aligns with me, it makes sense. We can work, like,
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, bro, you shouldn't be mad at me. Like, why are you mad at me? Because my goals didn't align with yours, and my vision didn't align with the company's. Like, it's nothing personal, man. At the end of the day, this is business. You know what I mean? So, thank God, like with you, your vision fits my vision, and my goals and all that fits in your vision, and again, it always does help that you've always been a straightforward, person with me, a straight shooter since the jump, man. So that always helps out.
Yeah. I mean, I've always told Cliff and Joel this. I'm always just trying to create win-win situations. Because the thing is, like, people can only want to help you for so long. Like, there are people that are willing to help you, people that are in your corner, but it's also unfair to them if they're constantly just promoting your thing.
Right.
Like, try to find a way to make this into a mutually beneficial thing. And if everybody wins, like, how can you lose?
Yeah. 100%, man. I agree.
Well, I mean, so the other day we were down in San Diego. You were telling me about how your other businesses were going, like, basically you've set it up so it's running itself.
Yeah.
And you're diving into this a little bit more now, right?
Yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm excited because, I'm gonna be real, man. Like, I fought this for a very long time. Like, my idea of success was never in the insurance industry. I don't think anyone's is. I always was around realtors, and I was like, man, I want to be in a nice car. I want to have a nice suit. So naturally, I always wanted to tap into that. Now that I did, I realized, I'm like, dude, like, yeah, real estate is a very lucrative place to be in. And, you can make tons of money. I mean, it's ridiculous, but insurance is what I really know, and I've seen also how much money people can make here. And it's not all about the money, but it does play a big role. Like, I want to know that, like, after all the work, that I'm going to do, all the people that I'm going to protect, agents that I'm going to save, like, at the end of the day, can it financially provide the lifestyle that I envision for my family and myself? Like, I'm not giving up on that. I still want the Bentleys, the Rolls, all that cool stuff. Like, so it doesn't, I don't have to give up any of that stuff. But before, I wouldn't see it, man, because you got to understand where we come from. Like, dude, it's a 1 in a million, like that can actually accomplish that in that company, here, seeing the type of things people can do here, I'm like, stop fighting it, dude. Just do it, man. Like, this is it. This is what I know the insurance business very well. I know how to train people here very well. I know how to recruit. I know how to do all that stuff. Like, just got to kind of make peace with it and say, like, hey, let's go. And I, at the end of the day, I love it, man. So.
I mean, it all starts with belief.
Yeah.
I mean, we always talk about this. It's like, you don't believe until you see someone else do it. Mm-hmm. And then even when you see someone else do it, you kind of have to, like, wrap your mind around the fact that I believe I can do that also. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's other people like Kanye. We were talking about that duck. Like, some people just believe they can do anything. Yeah. And then that has value in itself. And whether it's true or not, whether you actually accomplish things or not, the fact that you can believe that you can do something, it's powerful.
Yeah. 100%, man.
Some crazy drive Kanye had.
Dude, that documentary, man,
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
Let's ruin it for Clifton.
Oh, dude, that's a good one, man. Like to see how many doors this guy, knocked on, how many people, like literally this guy's presenting his music, his product, and they're just like, oh yeah, it's good. This guy just, changed the game, man. I was like, dude, this guy's so.
Well, it's definitely inspiring, in spite of however you may feel about Kanye.
Right. Yeah, I never liked Kanye until now. I kind of like, all right, cool, I'll listen to you.
Obviously he's outspoken. He said some crazy things. He does some crazy things. But the thing is, you can't argue that drive. You can't argue the belief he had in himself, and it's inspiring, to be honest. Because, I think we all see like how successful he is now. He's probably approaching.
I think he's already worth a little bit over.
Maybe, but the thing is, regardless of whatever his monetary worth is, the thing is, we all recognize him as he's had financial success and he's had business success, and he's been able to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish in a lot of different arenas, right? Many different arenas, but the thing is, it's more about like watching that documentary is more about the amount he failed, the amount he got rejected, and he kept moving forward with it. It's
a beautiful thing, man, to watch people's like that. That's really what it is. Like that's that's the fun part, the struggle, man, the hurdles. It's like video games. They wouldn't be fun if they weren't hard, man. So this is the same way. Like you learn to embrace the difficult and love it, and you realize, like, at the end of the day, like, man, that was the fun part. Like trying to figure this out. It's like a puzzle. It's like, I tell this all the time. I'm like, it's like a Rubik's Cube, man. Like, you figure out one side and then the other side is all discombobulated, like, and then you figure out the other side and now the other side is all messed up, but eventually you get it. Eventually get the algorithm. Once you get the algorithm going, it's like, now you're going to be able to create a factory of these things. You can just start doing it over and over and over. Right. But the fun part is not once you finished it and doing it again, it's like, you already know the cheat code and how the algorithm. The fun part was trying to figure it out the whole time.
Right. It's the process. It's
the process.
I love the process. So yeah, man, you'll get it eventually if you don't give up. Yeah. If you continue to work towards it. So I don't know, for all of us, I think we talk about this on this podcast from time to time about, it's okay to be vulnerable at times, and it's okay to, let people know that, you're not a straight line success the entire way. And we all have, our challenges, we had our ups and downs, and, that's normal. It's normal for everybody. But then you're actually like, it's an inspiration for a lot of other people that they actually know that you've struggled with certain things, or you had your downtimes, and, because, like think about all the people that were just like front runners and people that have done well, and you don't hear anything else about, like, the 100% closing ratio, never facing any struggles. I know, like, who can identify with them? Yeah, they're lying for sure.
It's funny that you guys say that. Yoel's podcast, me, George, and Yoel was actually talking about that. How with every destination, there's a journey. There's a journey to actually travel. So there's times there's going to be hurdles. There's going to be blockages. There's going to be a ton of different things that's going to, you can say, sometimes slow you down, or even getting you ready to say, hey, do you really want this? But you gotta jump over those hurdles. You got to find a different route. And you know what I'm saying? You got to go through those trials and tribulations, those failures, and learn from them to actually truly get to that journey. It's like, oh, do you really want this? And if you really want it, you for sure going to get there. You just got to keep on pushing. And I feel like I forgot who it was that I was talking to. I was earlier today, and we were talking about like fitness, right? And I was like, man, fitness is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in life. The reason why I say that, because it's not just a physical battle, but it's also a mental battle as well. Because while you're in that gym pushing, you feel that ache and pain and all that fatigue, your mind is telling you, man, it's time to quit. It's time to chill. Like, bro, you can't do this. But once you break through that, it's almost like you get this extra level of push and drive, and you're able to truly like say, oh yeah, I can accomplish anything. Can't nothing stop me. Yeah.
No, I think yeah. When it comes to something like that, the strength that you build mentally is even bigger than the physical strength. Because then, like, you develop this discipline over time. You recognize it's not going to kill me. Like, or if I do this, I know I'm stronger, and I'll try more stuff. I'll put on more weight. Whatever it is. It's all like a process. So
yeah,
100%.
So I think that's actually been a blessing, that you went away for a little bit and came back. And, so now that you're back, what have you changed in terms of your day-to-day practical business?
Day to day, well, I'm a very systematic person, man. So, I hire someone on to help out, and I always believe in teams, man. So I hired someone on to help out with more of the day-to-day stuff, with the calling, with the scheduling my appointments, and buying leads, bro. Like, I'm bought in now. I'm so, like, it's like, sometimes we're scared. We tiptoe into these things and we go and get like 20 leads or, 50 leads. Like, dude, in order to be able to really see this, and this is kind of like what I realized is you have to be like, like willing to invest. Like, at the end of the day, it is a business, man. And sometimes you're gonna, some weeks will be better than other weeks. Some days will be better than other days, right? But at the end of the day, if we really look at it, there was a result. And that's really our goal, to create result and then grow from that result, right? So, for example, the first couple of weeks, I was buying like 100 leads a week. Can I talk about that kind of stuff? Yeah. Okay, cool. Man, it's just
don't know what we can and cannot
slow
talk
baby,
about nowadays.
cry baby, yes, companies, man. But I was, I bought like 100 leads, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, my goal was like, let me see a side of whatever sales I can do from this. Like, I want to see how many appointments I could set, because the appointments drive the presentation. The presentation drives the sale, man. So if I can get appointments, the rest is history, man. Like, all I need is a body now. Like, I just need to be able to,
opportunity.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, I just need to be able to have someone allow me to sit with them and explain it to them, even if they didn't care for it, even if they don't know what it was for. Like, I know that people will, once they see the product, they're going to understand that they need it, right? So I was like, all right, let's focus on the appointments. I had my appointment setter. I put her on payroll right away. And I was like, look, this is all I want you to focus on. I just want you to like go through these leads. And she, I don't come to me and tell me that you've already called them. Just keep calling them. The goal is to,
over and over and
just
over.
go through it. Just, and so we saw, like, out of 100, we were able to book 20 leads. So I'm like, all right, 20 appointments. I'm like, all right, cool. So then now I reverse this, reverse engineer this, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. So if I have 40 appointments, show ratio is about 45 to 50%, and the closing ratio, 30 to 35%. Cool. How many appointments do I need to write the business that I want to write? And then it's simple. Now it's all about putting in the work. And now I know that it works because we booked the appointments, we saw some of the appointments, and we sold some of the appointments. So I was like, the rest is it's cake.
You saw the income that you're expecting.
Yeah. I never want to just like look at it from. I think that the sample size is way too small yet. Still, like, I've only been doing this for like 6 weeks. So the sample size is still very small. I don't want to get caught up on that. My biggest focus is like the activity that's going to produce, because the rest I can drive. Like, I can, I can push on the show ratio by getting better at it, by doing whatever we need to do to increase the show ratio. I just want to know that I can book the appointments, so we got the appointments. Now, what was it, yesterday? I bought like 300 leads. I'm like, let's do this. It's now I know that my caller went through those 100 leads like in 2 to 3 days. She was able to call them. So, if you have a caller, if you have an assistant, man, like, that's part of your team. You want to mentor these people. You want to, sit with them and cast vision to these people. Like, what is it? What am I going to do through you for you? If we produce these results, so I have my assistant that, I constantly, I inspect what she's doing, not to micromanage it, just so that she sees the vision too. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's right now, that's our goal, is to go from those 20 appointments that we set. Our goal now is to get to 50
in a week,
50 appointments a week. And I think that that's going to drive the result that I want. Yep. And through that, that's going to drive other avenues of, recruiting through that, more families we protect, the more content we have, the better I can teach you, because before I can teach you something, I need to like know how to, how it works. Like, and people want to, they want to know, they want to be directed. They want to be guided, man. They want to know that the person that they're entrusting their life in, because this is their livelihood here, can take them to the promised land, man.
Right.
And I'd be so disappointed if I wasn't the right person for them, and I really take that to heart, man. So that's essentially the reason that I've been putting in a lot of the work. It's not really just because I want to make a lot of money and be an agent and, all that stuff. I really want to believe, build that conviction, and then transfer that enthusiasm to my people, man.
You mentioned content. We're gonna get back to that in a second, but you've actually had your admin or caller for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So the things I think a lot of people, first of all, you're going to suck on the phones most likely.
Yeah.
Like more often than not, percentage wise, most of you guys are probably going to suck when you first start off. I did.
That was great.
Did you suck on the phone when you started?
100%. Dude.
That was trash. I was absolutely
I think I'm so scared of it.
I just want to put that out there. So the thing is, if you don't get results right away, there's a couple of things that you need to recognize. First of all, it's part of the process. You need to get your reps in to get better. So if you that means you need to continue to get your leads. Don't expect to conquer it overnight or immediately. It's going to take you some time, and everyone has a different learning curve, so it's fine. But the thing is, for the people that say like, "Oh, since I'm not booking any appointments, I'm just going to get a caller instead because I'm great in front of the person. I'm great at closing. I'm great at selling. I just don't want to sit here and book appointments."
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine if you got the money for it and you want to run it like a business like that. That's one thing. But one thing I noticed about you, because I've met your admin and she's come in here before, and we've known her for a while, and you actually spend a lot of time sitting there and coaching her.
100%.
So it's not just like, here's the leads, figure it out.
No, man, I'm putting my money in this, man. Like I'm investing like money. I can't just like let someone that has no idea what this is try to figure it out. So first, the only way that I would be confident in asking someone or advising someone to get a caller, to get an assistant or anything like that, dude, you got to know how to do the work first, because that way you could teach it. Don't be lazy. That's just being lazy, straight up. If you're just gonna have someone dish out the leads to them and then expect a return, you're gonna eat your return. Your profit margin is gonna go down because they're gonna burn through a lot of those leads. But above all, you have to first learn something before you can teach it and delegate. I really believe so. At least at this stage, once I'm a big baller, like this guy here, it's we can hire people that know the job, but
no, even then, that part you can never skip.
Yeah.
There's 100%. Still stuff that you got to communicate what you want from that person. So, I obviously have great staff, but there's things where I need to communicate what I hired them for.
Yeah. 100%.
And so it's not just like, I don't know, go figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing, man. Being involved, man, it's like kind of what Clifton said about working out. I relate everything to working out, although I'm not the fittest guy in the world, but I do like it. I like to work out, not because, I enjoy it, but because it really, really helps stimulate my growth, man. The mindset, right? Because not always do I feel like it. Matter of fact, there's more days that I don't feel like doing the workout than the days that I actually do feel like doing the workout. But every time I work out, I'm like, that was badass. I feel accomplished, right? So the same thing with the phones. No one really wants to do it. Everybody's scared of these things. One, your mind is not correct. It's not, you should just be able to say some will, some won't, on to the next, whatever. But when you do that, when you just go for it and you get that appointment, you're like, okay, cool. Build a little bit of momentum. You feel good. You feel accomplished. And you get the second one. Oh shoot, dude, I could really do this. Builds that belief, right? So you're building that mind to really believe that you earn what you're about to the reward you're about to get, man. So it feels good, and eventually you become very busy, man. And your time is more valuable on the field or, within the appointments, and you're able to delegate that to someone. Right. But till then, don't just try to jump out of it and just because you're lazy, or it's inconvenient or you don't like it. Got to learn to love every part of the business.
Right. Yeah. It's ironic for if you want to get what you want, or you want to get to the point where you're doing what you want, you have to do along the way. You have to do a lot of things you don't want to do.
Yeah. 100%.
That's how you get to that place. That's the only way. And the thing is, you just have to understand why you're doing it, and you just have to do it just long enough for you to get to that next level.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're never going to get to where you want to be just staying comfortable.
Nice.
Yeah. And coming back and going over to the other company where I was in a pretty decent position, had a significant amount of agents, was doing pretty good, to now having to come and do a lot of the trench work. It's not fun, but it's necessary. Just like you said, man, it's necessary. And at the end of the day, now I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for the jersey with my name in the back, and actually in the name in the front. It's my business. So it's worth it now. If I was able to do it for someone else's legacy, why not do it for my family's legacy?
Mm-hmm.
So
beautiful. So that's the next step for you to build. I mean, obviously you already have ideas on how you want to build it.
I want to build it just like you, bro. Swear to God, man. I'm like, dude, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm just gonna plug in here for sure.
But the thing is, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kidding. I mean, like I have an idea of what I want to do, but everything is just like, it's trial and error. Like, you try different stuff out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, you got to reevaluate, get back and reevaluate. Is it me? Is it just this idea doesn't work? I mean, try to fix it. If it doesn't work after a while, then yeah, you got to bend and got to figure something else out. But the thing is, I mean, the reassuring part is that other people are growing.
Yeah.
This industry has a lot of potential. So the thing is, if I'm not getting it, it's because I'm not working hard enough. I'm not executing. I don't have the right ideas. I'm not executing on those ideas. So it's really no one to blame but me. And I like that.
Yeah, 100%. We just got to stay in our own lane, man. I can't compare myself to Cliff. Like, Cliff is fit, bro. Like, I'll be like very discouraged if I don't look like him tomorrow. But when you dive into something, there's always, as you're growing, you'll realize like, oh, okay, well, this should be done this way, or that should be done this way, because along the way you learn, and you learn where the weaknesses in your business are, and then you start focusing on those. But you can't focus on the whole thing, and they're not going to figure out everything.
Right.
You just got to be willing to run with it, and along the way, your business will tell you,
right,
this is what we need to focus on. And you just got to let the business do what it has to do, and you just got to be willing to just be willing to do it.
But yeah, I think that's. I mean, we might be doing multiple things at once, but you should focus on mastering one thing at a time. Yeah. Once you master that, then you don't have to think about it. It's already automatically running, because it doesn't take up mental energy for you to think like, what am I supposed to be doing here? It just runs on autopilot.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think that's one thing that we all, because sometimes people get overwhelmed thinking like, I want to do all these different things. And then they put all their energy equally into like different parts. And then like, you never really focus on one place to like master.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that. I recently started to switch things up and put things into task. Right. And I slowly start chipping away at that task and focus on that until that one is completed, and I perfect that one. And then I move over to the next. Because that way I don't, as you mentioned, put my energy into so many different things. And now I'm like, my head is about to explode. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do this stuff anymore.
It's debilitating.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's just so overwhelming. But like, now that I focus and put everything into tasks and chip away from that and then move over to the next, I feel like I'm more efficient in a sense. Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely handicapping you, because it was like a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
You came in like, I don't know, you guys will never see Cliff stressed out, but he gets stressed out.
Yeah.
he's human. But yeah, I mean, there was a point where he was just like, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And then like the next day, like he just systematically broke down like what he needed to do, put everything in tasks. And then like, I was like, I checked up on him like a day or two later, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm straight. I'm like, I got it all figured out now. Like, just taking it one thing at a time. And I'm like, beautiful. Like, that's the solutions that we can provide for ourselves if we just stay level-headed.
100%.
But going back to building and going back to content, as we kind of talked about earlier, like, we're trying to work on some, obviously building more content and, helping to promote your business, our business, business in general. So what's the primary focus for you when it comes to building up your social media?
Getting uncomfortable, man. Like, screw it, dude.
What are you uncomfortable with?
Like, just, I don't even think about some of the stuff that I post sometimes. Like, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't post this. I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna post it anyway.
Yeah.
And then it gives result, you know? And the stuff that I'm all like super extra about it, and then like I posted it because I thought it was perfect. It's the one that doesn't give me any result.
I know.
You sound
It's funny.
Yoel.
It's funny how that works. But
Facts.
so now with content, man, obviously I want to plug in with you guys' content because I don't have anything to show for yet, you know. So it'd be stupid of me to try to go out there and run and like create my own deal. You know, I believe that within your, you know, elite, I can still build. So you guys throw out so much content all the time. I'm like, dude, start, you know, using that content, putting it up and utilizing whatever is already there. And at the same time, you know, give it my own, like, my own way of doing it. I'm a little bit more of, honestly, I don't care, but I'm a little bit more of the flashy, you know, style.
I like that.
You know, it's uncomfortable. Trust me. Like, I don't like showing off. I don't like it. However, I understand that catches people's attention. Dude, if I see it, I mean, think about this. We all follow some of these big names, right? But what caught our attention first? It wasn't like, it wasn't because they were just amazing speakers. It was a lot of the time, I was like, dude, that guy pulled up in a Ferrari. That guy pulled up in the Lambo, has a mansion. He has a couple Rollies, you know, some APs. Cool, I'll listen. It's like an admission ticket. Like, you know, these things, they grab attention,
right?
You know, and if you're buying it as marketing purposes, like everything I get, man, I don't need certain things, but it just really helps with the marketing, you know? So I'm like, I even created another page because I was like, screw that. It's like my alter ego on this other page. Like I can just be whoever I want. I don't have anybody in my family there. Nobody follows me there. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to be this ratchet ass fool right here on Instagram. Screw that.
So your family page is Jorge, and then your second page is George.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but we were talking about this on Monday because like you came in a nice suit. I was like looking sharp, and then you're like first thing people notice. But see, the thing is, like when it comes to stuff like that, it's important. Like if you're a personal trainer and then you're out of shape, like who's going to want to work with you,
right?
Like, and obviously we got to be genuine because the thing is you can't go posting with a bunch of other people's Lamborghinis and then they meet you.
Never have I done that. I swear.
I mean, like there's different ways to market. I'm not judging anybody, but the thing is, at the end of the day, like if we try to put out this image of like I'm doing all this, I got all this money, I have all this, and then people start to get around you. And it doesn't match up. I mean, actually, it's worse than them thinking you didn't have that much to begin with.
Man, I tell you all the time, man, like, dude, at least get yourself a nice pair of shoes, man. Like, make sure they say they're made in Italy. They're like, it's a great investment. Trust me, man. Like, people that know that have the ability to perform at a good level, at a high level, they're aware.
Right.
Like, you're not gonna fool me with I mean, I feel bad saying this kind of stuff because it's a little shallow, but
we all been there though.
But it's just the truth, man. Like invest in yourself, invest into a nice suit. It don't matter if you wear this suit 100 times, but dude, let it be nice.
Right.
Like just make an investment rather than having a bunch of like suits that just, you know, people can tell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could tell like first thing, and this is just from me. When I was trying to get into real estate, you know, I'll tell you something, man. The reason I didn't get in real estate before I did into insurance, I went to go meet with this broker guy. This guy would post, he had the bands, he would always post his, like, you know, his watch. And I'm like, dude, this guy's really doing it. And so I finally was like, dude, I got to get in where I fit in, man. Like, yo, bro, can I meet with you? Like, I really want to get into real estate. And I meet with this guy. Sound a little shady, but I meet with this guy. This guy has an Invicta watch. Now, I don't know if you know what an Invicta watch is,
we know.
But cheap. It's a fake Rolex.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
It's like I'm like, at that moment, it just broke the deal, man. It really did. And I feel bad about it, you know, but as I'm gonna allow someone to pretty much take my livelihood in their hand, like, I want to know that you got it figured out to a certain extent.
I mean, I think that's totally fair. I mean, like, obviously money and material wealth doesn't like define anybody. I mean, that alone doesn't define people.
No, 100%. I agree.
But if someone's putting out the image like they're balling And then they
And then
they can't match up in real life.
Yeah. You know, he catfished me, man. I was like, all right, whatever. But, you know, funny enough, I mean, the guy does do well now. Like thank God he actually did, you know, move up and, you know, he's doing well. But, you know, because of that experience, I always make it a point to know, like, you're not gonna, you know, you can say I'm not the smartest. You could say that I don't have it, would figure it out, whatever. But you're not gonna judge me based on what I'm like I can put it together. You know,
right.
You know, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to invest in what I can control, whatever I can. You know, at that moment, I'm gonna obviously try to work that out. But whatever I can control, whatever I can do, I'm gonna you know, really take advantage of that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a personal choice for everybody. Like, we shouldn't be that shallow to judge people strictly on how they physically look.
I have to disclose that before.
You know, but you know, but that's also the thing. Like, if it makes you feel good, why don't you do it? Like, don't go and spend money you don't have. Don't go and or don't continue that lifestyle if it's just strictly a friend. You can't genuinely afford it. You know, but the thing is, if you make money, like I have no shame. Like, you know, I love to spend.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, I'm willing to work. I'm willing to invest. I'm always going to make it happen for myself because that's just what I like. Like, there's other people that say like, oh, I just want to like have one outfit, like a t-shirt and jeans, and that's all I'm going to wear. It's like, cool. That's your preference, and I'm not judging you for it. But I think like for all of us, I mean, our outward appearance, whether it comes to our, you know, our physical shape, our health, you know, our personal hygiene, how you choose to dress. I mean, it's an expression of you. And before you get to the point where, you know, you can have a conversation, an in-depth conversation with somebody, they're judging you already.
Yeah.
Right. So
even if we try to like feel like, or try to like make ourselves believe that that's not true, that people don't judge us. Like, man, you read every book out there. That's the first thing they do, man. People already made a decision about you, you know, within the first 30 seconds they met you. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, try to control whatever you can, and whatever you can, obviously try to improve in the whatever you need to improve in. But that, going back to the marketing and the, you know, the content and all that stuff, I want to find people that are like me. You know, the people that I'm not trying to recruit someone that's not like me. Right. I can't, you know, it's probably not going to work out. Like, you know, so if I have the ability and I'm building a business, then I'm going to recruit people that are kind of like me. You know, obviously not the exact same person as I am, but that are similar to me.
But generally, likes attracts likes.
Yeah, and that's the objective, right? So that's why I know what I like to see from people that are successful. Like, I know what gets me engaged, what catches my attention, right? So I'm reading a book, and I think, and I know we don't have that much time, but it's called The One-Page Marketing. If you guys haven't ever heard of it, get that book. I think I gave it to you, right? Yeah. So this it's a really good book, amazing book. It's about marketing, right? So it talks about, like, you have to, in order to engage and capture the attention of people, like, you have to create an avatar. You have to create an avatar of that person that you're trying to engage with. What does that person look like? Where do they shop? What do they, are they into fitness? What are their hobbies? Like, really just kind of create like a business
persona in a sense.
Like, yeah. It's
a business persona.
Yeah. That's kind of like an avatar.
Avatar is the actual word.
Yeah. So, and you sit there and you just have to really be intentional about that. Like, what does that person look like? What is that person into? Is he into, like, you know, and I think about myself. I'm like, well, I'm trying to recruit people like me, people that are hardworking, so what are things that I like and I enjoy? And then I look at people like Cliff. I want people like Cliff. What does Clifton do? He works out, you know, and you create a very, very specific person, and it becomes a niche, right? That's how you kind of create a niche market. And I believe that less is more, and I rather have quality rather than quantity. And that's my biggest focus this time around. So now with my when I'm like requesting people, Instagram has a really, and I read this in one of these books as well. Instagram creates algorithms. So essentially what you're doing when you accept someone to follow you, when you accept someone to you request someone, this is what you're telling Instagram is the people that you want them to drive to you. Right. So even
It's true.
even stuff like that, I'm very intentional about. Like I request a bunch of people from companies, and then whatever people follow me back, I go back into those people, and I'm like, okay, let's see what these people look like, and I kind of just like look at what are they into, what are their lifestyles, and whoever doesn't really fit into my avatar, I get rid of it because I don't want Instagram to send me more people like that.
Right.
You know, and if you guys don't believe this, like you guys can actually go into your Instagram and whatever it suggests for you, it's what they believe you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know,
It's very
so
true.
a lot of us get caught up in requesting a bunch of people from FFL. You know, like I don't want to bring in FFL. I want more people from other companies.
Facts.
So, you know, I can't sell to an FFL agent. I can't recruit the FFL agent. So why do I have an FFL agent following me? Right. Like it sounds harsh, but it's business and I'm trying to grow this. So I really want the algorithm to be accurate. So I feel like bad, but like you can follow me on my personal page. And that's another thing. I couldn't use my personal page because I have a bunch of realtors, I have a bunch of, lenders and a bunch of families. These are people that don't fit into the avatar that I created. So that's why I completely had to shift and pivot and create a new Instagram. And again, just posting stuff that of people that are going to, it's going to grab their attention. And those are the people that I want. You know, so if someone gets offended because I posted something and it was a little bit too flashy for them, cool. You're not my type of person anyway. I don't want to work with you. It's cool. I'm all right with
trying
it.
to attract.
You know, it's all right. So you got to be okay with letting go of people because some people are going to drain your blood, your energy, man, or some people are going to actually, contribute to it. So I want to have the right people around me this time around.
I like it.
That's next level stuff right there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but as far as going about the avatar thing, I mean, I think that's totally true. Like for me, I'm into fashion, obviously. I like a nice suit. So for me, it's always like you dress for the position that you want to be in.
Yeah.
Not dress in the position that you currently are in.
Right.
It's also you conduct yourself as a person that you would like to be, rather than conduct yourself as all of your history and everything, all of your experiences has put you into that current position. Like, but the thing is, like, if you do all that, I mean, whatever you think about the most is what you become. Yeah. Right. So then once you start, if you see yourself that way, if you can look in the mirror that way, if you visualize yourself that way, eventually you slowly start working, your mind and your body and everything else starts figuring out a way to become that person. Right. So it's very important, like the self-image that we all maintain of ourselves. And then the thing is, if you don't have that strong of a self-image, get around some more positive people. Yeah. Get around people that celebrate you and that actually support you for who you are. I mean, if you need to find people, Elite's got plenty of them. So,
I mean, just a quick example, man. Like you look at yourself, the way you dress, the way everything. I mean, that's what attracted me. It sounds a little fruity and all, but
this guy.
So it works.
But like I see that, and then you see the circle around you, and a lot of the people are very similar to you. They dress nice. I mean, look at Cliff, is very well sharp dude, right?
Elite. So
people that are meant to be around your circle, the people that are like you, are either gonna uprise to the person that you need them to become as a leader, or they're going to fall apart. They're going to fall out. And that's okay. We got to be all right with losing people. Like it's part of the business.
Yeah. So remember that too. Like if you're not happy with the circle around you, like think about how you were coming off to everybody else. Now that's the one person that we can control. So we just got to continue to focus on stuff like that, So, well, first of all, appreciate you coming on,
Thank you,
lots
brother.
of great stuff. Appreciate you coming on and sharing too, Cliff. So for all of you guys out there, just hopefully this was some helpful stuff. I definitely learned some stuff about the algorithm and your avatar and everything from Jay here. So appreciate you guys getting on. Let's go out there and make it a productive week. And let's go out there and be elite, guys. Thanks, guys.
Peace.